Marcia, and we have here...
I'm Kindra Moné, and we have our first guest on the couch.
Yay! My name is Jessica T. Happy to be here.
And we're so glad you are here because we're talking about girlfriends' relationships. And y'all been friends forever.
Yes.
I think you met at the age of what?
6.
Oh, yeah,
We remember the story.
Yes.
What is the story? How did y'all, connect?
Okay.
It was in children's church.
It was in children's church.
Uh-huh.
My first memory of Kindra was, I don't know if it was really her birthday or not.
It wasn't my birthday.
I just remember her just screaming like, I'm 7. And I was just looking at it. It was like my first time with you. I'm just looking at her. I'm like, who is this? Like, who is this girl? And why does she act like that? And then Tara at the time,
yeah.
kind of pretty much long story short, locked us in the room together.
Oh, what?
It was like, y'all need to be friends. And just put us in the room together.
Really?
And then
I never knew that story.
And then we started hanging out all the time. And then it pretty much wasn't like, are you coming over this weekend? It was like,
you are.
Jessica's over this weekend.
Yeah. But they've been friends forever. And I had the opportunity and the pleasure to watch their relationship evolve. From little girls to girls. I will never forget, I don't know what argument you had, but when y'all would get mad at each other.
We used to look out the car window.
Yeah, that's what's on my
And
mind. And they press themselves up against the sides of the car and look at the window and I'm like, what is going on? What's going on? But I kind of let y'all do your thing. Y'all kind of will fall out, fall in. But one of the things I love, which is why we brought you in here, because y'all just support each other and work well with each other. You both have your own different little vibe and flavor. And Jessica's like a second daughter, to me. And in this family,
I mean, Jessica we really grew up like sisters, close. Neither one of us have biological, we didn't grow up in the house. Mm-hmm. Jessica has 2 sisters, but we didn't grow up in the house with biological sisters. So if anything close to a sister relationship that we had where it was sharing space and, things like that, it was Jessica. And then me having 3 older brothers who didn't play with me, and you didn't really enforce them to, and that's a whole other story.
Okay. Right. Another story. We'll talk about that some other time.
And so, if we were going on vacation, I didn't want to be alone. I'm like, can Jessica come?
Yeah.
So Jessica was on the family vacations and everything.
Yeah. So, what are the lows, hard times in your relationship? Did y'all have any of those that you just fall out with each other?
It's been a long time. I feel like the last major argument we had was literally in 6th grade.
Really?
Yeah. I would say
wow.
7th grade was my first year of going to a different school than Jessica. Mm-hmm. Well, no, because I even tried to go to your school in 3rd grade, and I was didn't like it.
Yeah.
We went back to Harvest.
I remember that. I remember that because
then,
you wanted to go to the same school Jessica was going to.
Yeah, and then 7th grade, I went to private school. Jessica was still in public school, and that was probably the year that we spoke the least. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't a combative year. Mm-hmm. I do remember we got in an argument in 6th grade. And then
on the bus,
and we were done. We were done with each other for the day. But then we got locked out the house.
We was locked out the house.
So we had to make up on the porch.
Oh, that's
funny. While we waited to get inside.
That is.
I would say 7th grade was a year we probably didn't speak as much, but we didn't fall out. Mm-hmm. And and then we went to school together through high school. After that, went to private school together and went back to public school together and went to different colleges. But even in college, and having other friendships, I think the thing that has saved one of the biggest keys into our relationship being able to grow is that we allowed ourselves to grow outside of each other.
I was going to ask you that because I recall there's times initially it was just y'all, and then you started developing your own circle of friends. Mm-hmm. And so your circle would merge, but you still had your own circle of friends. How did y'all do that? Because, I know, and even today, I watch women who that's my friend.
Right.
And they don't do extras, let's say that. I knew her first. And you could see the group dynamics and, the little issues and the jealousies and feeling left out and all that kind of stuff. So did y'all do that? Did y'all go through that?
No. Yeah. I guess I didn't realize how unique me and Kendra's friendship was as far as women are concerned until we start talking to other women. They're we talk about, we've been friends for it's probably going on 20 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But we're
that is crazy. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how I feel about that either.
I'm like, what?
Wow, yeah, we've been friends for about 20 years.
For about 20 years. So we were talking to the women, they're like, y'all have friends for this long? Or that's me your friend? I'm like, yeah, that's not normal. So I hear the whole dynamic with like, I've heard like friends, you're jealous, you don't want your other friend to be friends with this friend, but we literally have never had that problem. Like,
wow.
I think it's a certain security that we've had in our friendship.
Wow.
Like, you know, there are different types of attachment. You have secure attachment, insecure attachment, those things. I think that we developed enough trust in our friendship that it wasn't, that we weren't intimidated of losing each other just because our friend circles were expanding into people that we necessarily didn't know. And then I also think that we have most of our close friends, even if they're not like I have not tried to be BFFs with, you know, Blake, Sabrina, like all of your best friends, and she hasn't necessarily tried to like force form those relationships either, but we get along with each other's friends as well.
Yeah, that's so unique. You understand? I don't know, you realize how unique that is. You know, to allow each other, that, like as you said, have BFFs outside of each other, and not trying to have the same type of relationship with the other person that your friend, you know, Jessica may have. So, and then you said something else regarding that you have to you trust each other's relationship. You trust each other. And women don't typically do that naturally sometimes. So what are the things that you did to foster this trust and foster enough elasticity in the relationship to stretch and allow other people in? I know that's kind of loaded, but what did y'all do?
I guess like me and Kendra were together for so long, like we just grew up together. I don't know.
I think that like, well, one thing I said, I've been blessed I realize that I am blessed to have a great circle of friends. But that's because I'm a good friend.
Okay, so
like,
you gotta be.
I'm a good friend first.
Yeah. Okay, so you gotta be a good friend.
A good friend. So
that's key.
You
Okay,
know, like, we're good friends to each other.
Good friend, but you're a good person. You gotta be a good person to be a good friend.
Yeah, and I think that I am very like caring about like how my friends feel and like how I take other people's feelings into consideration.
Yeah.
So there probably were times where it could have been a situation where jealousy, or it could have felt like, oh wow, I'm here visiting Jessica at College of Charleston and she has this other friend and she's acting like I'm like me and her aren't cool like that, but that wasn't the case. When I came around to Jessica's arena, whether I visited her at USC or whether I visited her at College of Charleston, she had my back. And so the same with Jessica come to Coastal or just comes to visit me in New York, whatever, it's like she has my back because, I mean, I have her back because we make sure that we're good friends to each other. I think that if someone says that they can't do, I don't do female friends, I can't have relationships with other women. Red flag to me, because you need to look at yourself of why you can't get along with anybody. Are you a good friend to other people? You can't always control what type of people you encounter. Sometimes you do encounter people who are going to do you wrong or are going to hurt your feelings. But in general, if you come into a situation like being a genuine good friend, you will find that out there in the universe.
Right. So the whole thing, I don't do females. Yes. You know, that's kind of interesting, right? Being a female yourself.
Right.
You know, so
it's like, oh, women are gossipy, women are shady, women will take your man. Do you gossip? Are you shady? Do you take people's man? Like, is that you?
Yeah, you know, this whole cattiness that, you know, people talk about, women talk about regarding each other.
We are probably the least catty people out there.
But
we balance each other out, though.
Okay. Yeah, how do y'all balance each other?
Sometimes I have too much grace. Sometimes Jessica doesn't have enough when it comes to patience with people.
Okay. So do you help her, like, say, hey, Kendra, you need to roll back that grace some? And
absolutely.
And sometimes she'll tell me, like, okay, that you're doing the most.
Like, sometimes Jessica will call me, like, I'll miss the call, and I'll call her back. She's like, girl, you're too late. I was calling to see if I should block him or not, but he blocked, so. And Jessica's like, girl, if you don't block him, and I'm like, but so we give each other good balance when it comes to that.
Now, y'all said the buzzword he. Block him. So you help each other through, like,
we definitely help each other through romantic relationships for sure.
Damn, like, she always like, I don't even know. We might have to edit this out, but she'll say, she'll say stuff like, Like, what's the thing you would say about one of your guys? It's like, it's never just me and him going through the relationship. It's always me, him, and Jessica.
I'm like, little does he know, me and Jessica just had this argument with him. I'm like, bro.
And vice versa. Like, when I'm dealing with guys, he don't even know. Like, it's supposed to stay between me and him. It's me, you, and Kindra.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, girl, I shouldn't tell you this, but anyway, so this is what happened.
Okay.
Getting real life screenshots as they're happening. We definitely help each other navigate these situations.
And be there.
And we have, I think we have a certain, because I have some friends who like, and I tell her this all the time. It's like, girl, you take my decisions way too personally for your life. Like me making a decision that you aren't excited about should not cause tension in our relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's been times where Jessica may have been in a relationship that I didn't totally approve of, or that I wanted her to get out of. But I understand that she had to find her truth, had to go learn her lessons with me as a friend to guide her and be there for when she needs me. But it's not my job, or it's nothing against me that her decisions are or what she wants them to be at the moment.
So y'all respect each other.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really key in girlfriend relationships. You have to respect each other. You know,
to be, everybody's on their own journey.
Right. And, and everyone, see things differently. And so you might see something about a guy that she doesn't see, and you try to share those things with her, and because you love her and that's your girl, all that kind of stuff. And next time I'll give you a call when I'm having a problem with a guy that she might be talking to. Jessica, I need you to talk to your friend because she ain't listening to her mama.
We're done with that. No more jokers. No more jokers. 2019.
Yes. Okay, no more jokers. 2019. No more jokers.
We're done.
2019.
We're done.
Okay, I'm gonna hold y'all to that. So remind y'all, is that a joker? So so you give her that space. You're not, I've seen people fall out with each other because they didn't buy into their idea or they didn't agree with them. Right. See things the way well, I see it this way. How come you don't see it this way? And fall out with her, and that's kind of controlling.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you allow each other be your own person with your own ideas and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is like, if KB is going through something, or with a guy and I just really don't like, or just in life in general, I'll give her my opinion, but you never want to create like a space where your friend doesn't want to talk to you anymore. Because every time they come to you, you like lecturing them and making them feel bad and things like that. And I guess that comes because my type, Kendra already spoke on it earlier, I'm very conscious. She's very conscious of people's feelings. I know how I feel when people treat me like that, so I try to give. I don't want to just call my friend every time you just telling me that decision sucked or you're acting dumb or, so you kind of like want to give your friend advice, but still, like she said, give them space to grow. And so they'll come back to you. Like, there's been times where, Kendra has given me advice and I didn't take it at the time. And then I'll come back like a month or two, maybe 6 months later, like, girl, you were right.
Yeah.
So it'll always,
and vice versa.
Yeah. So it'll always, if you're saying the right thing, your friend will always like recognize that.
So y'all been really close for a really long time, and other people have come in your life regarding friendships and relationships. Has there anybody jealous of you two?
I wouldn't say, well, we have had incidents where someone may have felt left out without us realizing it, or someone might have felt third wheeled without us realizing it because of their paradigm of their own female relationships in the past, where they've had people who have excluded them intentionally. So, but that had to, for me, I had to end up having a conversation with her and being like, Jess is my sister. Like, it ain't a thing. So there will be moments where, I'm sorry if we have an inside joke that goes back 15 years. Like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But that doesn't mean that we don't have room in our lives for other people, or that we are excluding you, or that we have a plan to box you out or make you feel like a third wheel. So it's just something that I've had to express, but for the most part, it really hasn't been an issue.
That's cool.
If they don't speak on it. Like,
they know better, right?
It's like, it's one of those things, like, you cannot slander Kendra or any of the Baileys around me. It's not going down. So people just never, they just never.
There's been times when people have been slandering and Jessica pop right back.
We're not doing
we
that.
may not clap back. Jessica will clap back.
Really?
On our behalf.
We're not doing it.
On Facebook, like, oh, who's so-and-so?
You're not going to slander Kendra or the best. So yeah, if girls have felt some type of way, they just, because they already know, like, okay, like, we're pretty much like a package deal, especially when we got that Dutch fork.
Yo, remember there was a time where, this is funny, we're on the couch, so we keep it real. There was a time where there was this girl who was trying to intimidate Jessica on the phone, have been calling her a whole bunch, just been, giving her a hard time. And I said, you know what, Jessica? Today's the day. You whoop her butt. We gotta go. You gotta beat her up.
Kindra, so, you did not give her that advice.
And the girl, she knew I was coming. She said, "Don't y'all jump me now." I was like, "Okay, fine. We won't jump you. It's just."
Yeah.
But I was right there coaching. Hit it with the left. This is in high school. We're grown.
Don't do this.
We're
at
not fighting
home.
anymore.
Don't do this at
And
home.
it was after months.
But this was a situation where this girl was harassing her.
Oh, wow.
And it had to be put to an end.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be put to an end. But I was coaching her. Mm-hmm. I was like, hit it with the left, hit it with the right.
As a good friend should.
As a good friend. So good friendships, the characteristics that make up a good friendship is being there for each other.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Loving gently without attachment to the other person's life choices.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
That's a very good way to put that.
And we didn't mention this, but I also think one of the biggest things is that me and Jessica can truly be happy for each other.
Okay, yeah.
I don't have to worry about having a great moment and not feeling like I can share it with her because she won't be happy, regardless of what she's going through.
That too.
Like there's been times where Jessica's going through and forming a new relationship and I'm going through a breakup. That doesn't mean I can't hear about her happiness. Mm-hmm. And there's been times where Jessica is getting a new job and I'm going through frustration at work. Or there's been time where it seems like I may be excelling in my career and Jessica's going through some frustration at work. But we can genuinely be happy for each other because we view it as like a win for both of us. Like if Jessica's doing well, like, oh, that's opening doors for me. If I'm doing well, that's opening doors for her. So we're not afraid of the other person reaching new heights because we know that one, it's good for everybody, and that two, we can share that and go through our seasons together without it being a
thing. I think that's authentic love because there are relationships in general that one could be having a mountaintop experience, the other one's going through a valley, and then they salty. They're not really saying why they're salty, but you can hear the subduedness in their voice regarding you sharing a moment, and you're like, oh, okay, I thought you we were cool, and so which is unfortunate, but that's a characteristic of, that's real love for each other, and also real love for each other and a real love for yourself. Because
that's key.
That's key because when you really love yourself, you can celebrate another sister.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But when you really don't like, I'm feeling it.
Because you're like, that's it.
That's it. I'm like, I'm trying to figure this thing out.
When you're coming from a good place and when you know what God has for you, then you can celebrate somebody else.
Exactly. Because I have people in my life, there's times where that I'm having a mountaintop experience and I'm sharing that with a friend or a sister, and it's like this hush, that comes in the room or in between each other. She may not say anything, and she could be saying, "Oh, I'm so happy for you." Her mouth is moving, but you're sensing something totally different. And so I'm realizing, oh man, see, there you go. Once I spot that, I'll push you back. Yeah, that's just me. Because you're almost an unsafe person.
Yep. Yeah.
That's just a sign of jealousy. And jealous people, you don't never know what they might do.
Right.
They can just, to kill you with their mouth behind your back.
Yep. So what have you learned over the years regarding your friendships, or how are you able to stand in your truth, and with the relationships you have, or in spite of relationships that you do or don't have?
Yeah, I had to learn quick. When I say quick, in this season of life that I'm in regarding doing what we do in ministry, and that is evolved and elevated to knowing different people in different status, what have you. I was able, through that lens, through that place, to see who my real friends were. The ones who were with me for who I was and not for what I do or who I knew. Yeah. And so once I start sensing an individual kind of like name dropping, I said, oh, you're a little bit personality driven. So I just, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. So this is what I've learned before. Before I used to cut people off. Once I see that, I'm like, that's the street in me, because I grew up in Newark, and so when people weren't your friends, you have to be really, really careful because that meant that they might be doing something, planning against your demise. So I had to learn. I would cut people off, and I realized I can't cut people off like that all the time.
Especially not in ministry.
Right. So I had to learn that. I would cut people off. I would cut you off. I mean, if I had to learn, I had to learn how to do. I had to learn. No, there's some characteristics that are redeemable. So I learned how to adjust. And move them from my sphere.
And just position people.
Reposition people.
Right.
So I learned how to reposition people. And my friends I have in my life, I've had them since college. Those are my girls. And I don't even live in the same state with them. And so we'll get up on the phone, we'll talk for long lengths of time, and then we won't hear from each other for months at a time. And I learned in these, let's say in the last 10 years, that those are keepers. Funny thing was, I heard from both of them said this, that they thought that I wouldn't want to be their friend anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, because of my life.
Wow. And
I was like, what? We know what you do, and you're there, and we're like this. I'm like, no, that's crazy, And so I was trying to figure out, what made them think that way, and I evaluated how I cared for my friends. Yeah. And I realized when you have friends, you got to care for them.
Absolutely.
And caring for them is dropping those calls and those cards, what have you, and you got to maintain those relationships. Yeah. So I learned,
especially as you get older and life gets busier and things get here and there, it's very easy to do that. But I think one thing that was a wake-up call, I think, within my entire friend circle was when Taina died.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, we need to call our friends. Like, we need to be there, a part of each other's lives.
Y'all were really
actively.
young. I haven't had a friend to pass away, and I'm X amount of years old.
It's such an interesting thing, because I think even
you're in your 20s.
Me and Jessica, I think we didn't really talk that day. We might talk the next day.
I don't think so.
But I almost thought it would have hurt too much for us to even speak to each other that day. So we just couldn't really do it.
Dealing with the individual.
Yeah. So, but through all of that, through all life changes, I think that taught us that you really have to be there for your friends, and that friendships do need care, and that they need nurturing, just like in all relationships in your life need upkeep.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we've been able to upkeep ours for about 20 years.
That's crazy.
That's pretty. And I want y'all to cherish that and keep doing what you do.
We will. We
definitely will.
So thank you for joining us on the couch. And hit us up. Let us know. Comment. What are your girlfriends, relationships? What do they look like? Anything to share regarding how to maintain them and what you do to keep them thriving, what you do to keep them growing. So we are so happy to have Jessica. I won't say your nickname here on the couch.
A little bit.
I wasn't going to say it. I was going to say, but I'm glad she's with us on the couch. And she's so cool. And I love her. She's
love you too. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great. Thank you for joining
us.
Thank you guys for joining us.